Malatsi used his power as minister to notify the National Assembly Speaker for the withdrawal of the bill. He says one of the reasons relates to the funding model for the SABC.
Right now, we need a credible funding model for the SABC. The bill as it is does not answer, in my view, the question around, a sustainable funding model that will empower the SABC to be on the path of that financial sustainability and suitability that we need. And in addition to that, if you look at the written submissions that were provided to the bill, there's a lot of criticism in terms of the key components of the bill around the risks of editorial independence, around the risk of the appointments of the board, and those things I feel that are very important to refine the bill. But most importantly, we need to dedicate our energy towards that key funding model, and it is for those reasons that in exercising my duties as the minister, I've then withdrawn the bill.
The bill has been welcomed by one of the civil society organizations that has been calling for the bill to be withdrawn.
The SOS Coalition welcomes the withdrawal of the SABC bill. We believe that this is a result of strong and sustained advocacy efforts by civil society organizations. As you would know, we have been calling for the bill to be withdrawn together with Media Monitoring Africa as well as the South African National Editors Forum. We've been calling for the bill to be withdrawn ever since it was introduced in Parliament back in 2023. SOS led a comprehensive campaign calling for the bill to be withdrawn. That campaign was supported by 37 civil society organizations, of whom endorsed the view that the bill was flawed and needed to be withdrawn and redrafted for the benefit of the public broadcaster.
The Communications Committee Chairperson has criticized the move.
Now, this decision by the minister to withdraw this bill, we believe that it takes us back. We think that it is ill-advised. We think that it serves no purpose except to frustrate and delay a process that is crucially needed to save and stabilize the South African Broadcasting Corporation. Now, we've had a portfolio committee meeting before on this matter where it was agreed in the minister's presence that that is the route we're going to take. I think it's an open secret. Legislation takes forever to be processed in government. If you look at this particular bill, it was initiated in 2018 or even earlier, and it took a whole 5 years before it appeared in Parliament. And that is our vehement opposition to this decision that the minister is taking. We think that we could have moved quicker to ensure that we put in place a sustainable funding model for the SABC and resolve the other issues that are raised as contentious matters. Now, the minister has indicated that he's pulling this bill because he's concerned that it doesn't speak to a funding model. I don't think he's got a funding model right now, and I'm wondering that by withdrawing the bill, is he suddenly overnight going to come up with a funding model? Whereas there's been engagements that have been ongoing. The portfolio committee has also sought legal advice to establish a panel of experts with the sole purpose of looking at the funding model of the SABC. So he's taking us back. He's taking us at least 3 to 5 years back by the withdrawal of that bill. We trust that there will be urgency on their part as government, but even there we are not convinced. The department had ample time, for example, to finalize the audio and visual policy, which is one of the concerns that was raised with civil society, to say you are putting the horse before the cart because you want to finalize the SABC bill without the audio and visual policy.
COSATU, which also made a submission on the SABC bill, weighed in on the announcement made by the minister.
The minister is going to withdraw, but it doesn't give a clear time frame. Is it a 6-month intervention? Is it a complete overhaul which could take us 2 or 3 years, 4 years longer? And the concern there is that if we keep delaying and dragging these issues out, SABC continues to bleed and just struggle to find its feet. So we're not sure what is the minister's, what is his intentions. He did issue a statement, but it is fairly vague. So we don't know, will he retain the positive provision in the bill which says it's a public broadcaster, it's got a developmental mandate, it's free from interference by politicians, or does he have something else in mind?
For this month of October, 14 million people have been viewing SABC channels daily.
SABC has 19 radio stations, including this one, with close to 27 million adults listening to these stations every day in 11 official languages, as well as 2 languages, the Kung and Kwe, at Platfontein in the Northern Cape. Mercedes Besant, SABC News, Cape Town.